I'm gonna show you exactly the process that got me unstuck. We've got John here. If you're new to the channel, you haven't met John before, but John don't really know what he's doing. John's a little bit stuck. John has the same level of talent as everybody else, but he's stuck and he doesn't move. And he's always thinking, what if? Now, although John's a bit of a donut, John can represent us. John certainly represented me before. About to take a risk, about to take a step into changing my life for good, doing something, maybe that business idea that's ringing in your mind. What if I do this business? Or, do you know what? I'm gonna go gym, but I'm gonna go tomorrow. Tomorrow's the right day to go because today I've got that thing, yeah. So I'm gonna go tomorrow. John's thinking about tomorrow. John's thought about tomorrow 365 times. John's missed a year. However, here's the step. The step is actually alive, blessed by the sun. And he's saying, come here, brother. Now, it's meant to be in a Jamaican accent. However, I don't want to do my ancestors a disservice, so I'm not going to do it. But just imagine Bob Marley saying, come here, brother. I sort of done it there a little bit. But as you can see, the path only becomes clear when we take the first step. It's a bit unfair. It works a little bit like motivation and discipline. You do the discipline and then you get the motivation. It doesn't work the other way around. I'm going to take you through a practical process of how to start now and actually take that first step. But before we get into that, what's the problem? What stops us? Well, what stopped me was tomorrow. Coming up with that idea of tomorrow. The illusion of tomorrow, envisioning tomorrow. Like tomorrow is like another time, but tomorrow is an illusion. And that's quite a cliche answer to something. That's quite a cliche response. Tomorrow is an illusion. You've probably heard that before. But the reason why tomorrow is an illusion is because there is no tomorrow. And there is no tomorrow because tomorrow will simply be today. What do I mean by that? We're just a ball of consciousness. Now, I don't want to get too scientific or metaphysical and all that jazz, but we are just a ball of consciousness floating. And tomorrow we will be that ball of consciousness in that present moment floating. There is no tomorrow. So even tomorrow in and of itself, if we get there, that's another thing. We might not make tomorrow. We don't know. But let's say we do get to tomorrow. The reason why it's an illusion is because tomorrow will not present as tomorrow. It will present as today and right now. So the truth is, we only ever have right now. I hope that makes sense. This was my biggest problem. And I know my friend John here, who secretly represents me. And I'm sure can represent some of you guys as well. But John is always thinking about tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to do that thing. Tomorrow I'm going to launch that business. Tomorrow I'm going to text that person. Tomorrow I'm going to go to the gym. Tomorrow. He's put so many things on his to-do list tomorrow. He's not going to even be able to do them. So he may as well do a couple today, right? Now, over the last year, I've started a business. I left my 9 to 5. I've got into the best shape of my life. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I don't say any of that to toot my own trumpet. I say that so that you can trust me. I say that so that you know I've taken these steps. And I'm not just some random geezer telling you, trying to motivate you. That's not what this is about. And I'm sick of those people. That's why I turned on this camera. Because I was like John. And I'd hear loads of things, loads of motivational stuff that would never actually help me to take action. And the reason why there's loads of stuff out there that will never actually help you to take action is because a lot of people that are telling you this have not actually taken the actions that are required to give you this level of information. But that's a tangent. Let's not talk about that. Just over a year ago now, I left my 9 to 5. The reason why I left was because I always knew from the age of like 18, 19, that there is something bigger. Like I don't believe I've been called to be in an office, sat behind a desk, 8 hours a day, giving my every bit of energy and life force to a company that doesn't care about me and would replace me. And if I died, would have a job listing and going out within 2 weeks to replace me. Now that's every job. Now this is harsh. I know this sounds harsh. It sounds unfair. If you like your colleagues and you're having fun, you're having a great time, man, cool. That's great. But the truth is, if you died, 2 weeks later, they will have a job offering out to replace you. They'll throw a little party. Even our funerals, people come to our funerals, they'll eat some of the food, they'll complain a bit about the food. Some people won't be able to make it because something will pop up and then everyone will move on with their lives. And it's a little bit disheartening, but I see that as really enlightening and enriching. We can take that 2 ways. One way is, what's the point in all of this? And the other way is, oh my days, we can do absolutely anything. No one really cares. It doesn't actually matter that much. After years of that thought sort of discouraging me, it started to really encourage me. And as I said, after 2 years of procrastinating, and I was in a good job. I was a manager. I was head of department. I was leading people and all sorts of things. And I had like career development. I could keep climbing the ladder and doing the thing and whatnot. And I don't say this to be disrespectful to you. If that's your goal, if that's what you want to do, crack on, like enjoy it. But I just knew that wasn't for me. I've been a creative at heart. I wanted to create. I wanted to become an athlete. I wanted to train harder than I've ever trained before. I wanted to meet new people. I wanted to travel the world. I traveled South Asia. I went to Thailand by myself, and I've learned so much from that experience. So much from seeing the other world's systems, and the way that they do things is so different to ours. But I digress. I simply came here to say that only by taking that first step was it able to illuminate that next step for me. That next step for me, as I said, was starting a business, was stepping into something, because I left my job with no idea of what I was going to do next. But I left with, I guess, a level of faith to say that, right, I've done that first step, leave my job. Now, I didn't know what, I didn't know when, I didn't know specifics of anything, but then that thing landed. All right, cool, Alf, this is what you're going to do next. And it was like, all right, cool. Let me try it. It didn't work. Then I tried that and it didn't work. Then I tried that and it didn't work. Then I tried this, didn't work. Loads of things didn't work. And I still don't have it all figured out. But what I can say is that that path, that step here, this next step only illuminated once I'd taken that first one. And then this one illuminated once I'd taken that next one. Now, how and why does the path illuminate as you walk it? All our behavior is based on feedback loops. Now, a feedback loop is action, response, and then we take the feedback and it informs our next action. A step is an action. Action, response, it reveals our next action through feedback, right? So it's like action, response, feedback, action. What did I do and how did it get rewarded or punished? All of our behavior is simply based on reward or punishment. I can make a whole separate video based on rewards and punishment. Every single bit of our human behavior, how we go to bed, what we do during our day, literally absolutely everything you can think of is based on reward. We do the things we're rewarded for, and we try not to do the things we are punished for. And that is all of our human behavior. However, when it comes to taking that step, how does the path illuminate as we walk it? Well, simply, when we take that first step, it is only through taking that first step that we get the feedback from that first step that gives us, we get a response from that first step, which then gives us feedback from that first step. And based on that feedback is what we then go and do next. We can only move twice once we've moved once. You can't move twice on the board. This is like chess. It's like the pawn can only move once. It can't move twice. You can't be doing this. Well, it can move twice at the start, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. Yeah, it's one move at a time. And even, that's a great analogy. I only just thought of that live on camera. Chess. If you think about chess, you can only move once at a time. Now, I know all of the different pieces can move across the board and left, right, and the queen can go anywhere and do whatever, which is a great metaphor for life, but again, another video. On the board, you can make your move once. Now, then when you make your move once, your opponent responds. Based on your opponent's response is going to be based on what you do next. You will not know what you're going to do next until your opponent responds in the middle of that next. So you won't know whether to do how to take that step until you've taken this one, because it highlights it. The path illuminates as we walk it. I hope this is making sense. This was just a short one, but essentially we have 75 winters, 75 summers, 75 springs, 75 autumns. I don't know if I've missed any seasons, let me know if I have. But we've got 75, like if we're lucky, right? Now with the advancement of humans and stuff, maybe make that 85, whatever. But it's still not many. It's still not loads. I don't want to sound like some old guy, but I was like 21 a couple months ago. I'm 24 now. I know the maths doesn't make sense, but it felt like a couple months ago I was 21 and now I'm 24. How does that make sense? And the essence of that is simply, we spend so much time thinking, what if? That the time goes by. As I said, if we said tomorrow 365 times, and we probably have done. I know I definitely did say, I'll do that tomorrow 365 times. Bang, a year's gone. I got 75 if I'm lucky, and then that's that. I might have more. I think I'm gonna live to about 100, maybe, because I lift weights. But even that, even if you live to 120, that's 120 years, right? It's not that long. Like, it's not that long. That's if you're crazy lucky. But anyways, the only thing I want you to take away from this video is that if you have an idea, if there is something that is festering in your mind at the moment and ruminating and you can't stop thinking about it, do it. Even if it's just a small micro version of it, do it. Why? Because the path will illuminate as you walk it. And only through taking that first step do you get the response and then the feedback that will inform your next step. There's loads of sayings about thinking 2 steps ahead and all of that stuff, but the truth is you can plan and strategize to the moon. I've realized that there are some key lessons that you can only retrieve through action. Start now and get better later. Trust me, we spend so much time in our head thinking about what if, that if we put half of that, if we channeled half of that energy into forgetting what if and just doing it now, we'll find out what if. And I found that finding out what if is the most beautiful thing that I've experienced. You know, my only regret, and I don't really believe in living with many regrets, but my only regret is not doing this sooner. It's not taking a jump sooner, making a decision sooner, going for it sooner. That's my only regret. And as I said, I'm standing there, I ain't got it all figured out. I don't really know what I'm doing. Most days I don't know what I'm doing. Check my last video. But I know that I'm taking a step, and I know that each step I take, something else gets revealed in the path. And I know that the path does not get revealed unless we take that first step. Take the first step, G. It's just a short one. Until the next one, I'll see you in a bit.